Marta McMacken told us a little bit about it, but I want your side.
Yeah, Mr. Bill Catley tells this one quite often on me. But
what was your first phone conversation?
Yeah, it was a situation. I was back in Manchester, and of course, I've been off and on in Lexington now for 10 years, and you still can tell that I'm a country boy. And you can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy. I still have the little slang, but. Coach Pitino was in town, and he'd gotten the job, and we had heard, and so he was trying to call all the players to kind of let us know exactly what he expected of us, and what we needed to do as far as being in shape when we came in back to school. And so he called, and the joke of Mr. Bill he says we talked for 30 minutes, and he said Coach came in and said that he understood about 2 minutes of it. And I looked back at Mr. Bill, and I told him, I said, did he understand 2 minutes? I said, because I only got about 30 seconds of what he said. So that was there was kind of a big communication gap between us, but that's the story that Mr. Bill likes to tell. So it's kind of, there's a lot of it true.
But, you guys actually played on that. I remember one Midnight Madness. Didn't you guys have kind of almost like a lounge, Holiday Inn lounge act going?
Yeah, he was, of course, very sharp with the media and people and liked to play on that. And, of course, he brought me in, at that time, told me I needed to lose 20, 25 pounds. And, and I got in the best shape that I'd ever been in. And I was lighter, as a matter of fact, the year that he came than I was when I went into high school as a freshman. I weighed 173 pounds, and I played that year at 168. So,
wow.
I dropped down. I think that I was a little too light, but, for him it was perfect. And I gained a step, and I got a burr haircut,
See, that helped your speed right there. Right?
So changed my aerodynamics a little bit, and kind of brought me out there during Midnight Madness and put his arm around me, and said, don't he look good? So the fans just kind of, they played on that, and we had a little deal to where he had me shoot in 3-pointers against Billy Donovan. And he said, if you beat Billy the Kid, Rich, he said, right here in front of everybody, after I bragged on you, he said, we're going to take an hour off practice tomorrow. And I said, okay. And so he said, do you want to shoot first or do you want him to? And I said, well, I'll go ahead and shoot first. And I made 5 of 6. We got 6 shots. I made 5 of 6. Mm-hmm. And so Billy the Kid missed the first shot, and then I think he made 2, and then he missed 1, so it was over. And I was like, all right, an hour off practice. And he said, okay, Rich, instead of 6 hours, it's only going to be 5 tomorrow. So we was like, you got us again. So,
you can't beat him.
Yeah, he made a deal, but he still had us, so.
As the Celtics are going to find out.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that they're going to find out it's going to be his way or the highway, so they might as well get their butt in shape and be ready to play.
The first team meeting, I understand, was kind of an interesting experience for everybody. What was that like?
Well, he basically told us that, the days of all the Kentucky boys being there and, and the 6-foot white boys playing, all that. He said, those days are coming to an end, and we're going to make New York City our #1 recruiting state, New York. And we're going to go after the best player in that state every year, and we're going to go for athletes that run and jump and play my style of basketball. And he succeeded in doing that.
What was going through your mind?
And I'm thinking, oh my God, what are we in for here? We've never been through anything like this before. I thought I was on track scholarship the first 3 months he was there instead of basketball scholarship. So I was at the track every day. But he's a great motivator, a great coach, knows the game, and does a tremendous job.
Now, did he actually? I heard he did this. You can verify this for me now. The first team meeting, he said, okay, where are the rest?
Where are the players? Where are all the players?
This is after all you guys are in the room, right?
We're all sitting there looking at him like, this is it, Coach. This is us. What do you mean where are all the players? And he was like, well, I kind of thought we might have had a little bit more to work with here, So
you went from one system where you had 10 touches before a shot to a system where he would pull you if you didn't shoot enough.
Yeah, you're wide open. You don't take the shot, you're coming out. That's my kind of coach. I said, hey, I've never seen a shot I didn't like. I come in town, I'm open. So
let's go right to the Duke game. You're a frame of mind before that, and I think you've hinted at it before that you feared no one. On paper, people would say they had more talent than you.
Yeah, I would never try to do anything to take away from that team because they were #1. They were, everybody was shooting at them all year and was unable to beat them. And they were a great team. They had a lot of great players. You look at the team that they had. Christian Laettner, Grant Hill, Bobby Hurley. They're all in the NBA doing quite well now.
Yes, they are.
They had some players. And you know, like I said it at a press conference before the game. You know, I said we respect everybody, but we don't fear anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we really felt that if we stuck to our game plan and executed, we knew we had to play a near perfect game, which we almost did,
Mm-hmm.
and they almost did. And that's you know, a lot of people say that that's the greatest college basketball game that's ever been played,
Mm-hmm.
and to me that just blows my mind. But just to have been a part of that game, you know, means a lot to me, and it's something very special.
Were you now the last shot? Where were you when Christian?
Well, I was on the far left-hand side, and I was guarding Thomas Hill, and as the ball came into Christian Leitner and he turned to shoot it, and I saw I released and I came down, and I actually caught the ball, you know, had the ball as it came down through the net and hit the floor. I had the ball, so I was kind of standing there thinking, oh no, you know, no,
Not this way.
and then when it went in, you know, and they ran around and they said it was good. I mean, it was just kind of a numb feeling came over me, you know, and I just fell on the floor, and you know, it was really just a numbness. I can't explain the feeling.
What did Coach Pitino say to you guys after that game?
Well, I'll tell you, the first person that got to me was Coach Krzyzewski from Duke, and I mean, you know, and he hugged me, and you know, he told me, he said, there were no losers tonight. He said, you know, no matter what anybody says, there were no losers. As a matter of fact, he came over, and that was K-Wood's last broadcast, and
right.
he came over, and I got to hear just a little bit of that, and it still runs Coach Hills over me to think, but you know, Coach K, he is nothing but class, and they won with a lot of class. But the locker room afterwards, I mean, it was kind of sad. Coach was crying, you know, and of course all of us were crying. The underclassmen, you know, were, because they had another shot, but all the seniors, all of us, the unforgettables so-called, we were all crying, and you know, he was trying to get us not to cry because, you know, saying, well, let's not base, you know, a whole year and a whole career on 2 seconds, you know, on one play. That's not the way it is. And then he'd break down into tears and couldn't finish, and then we'd all break down and cry again. So it was pretty tough. But I mean, you know, all in all, the experience, and I think it all made us all better people. And I'm not so sure had we went on and won a national championship if we'd have been any more popular.
Mm-hmm.
I know my career personally would not have been what it would have been without the fans of the state of Kentucky, because, you know, the big blue line and all of that. I mean, somebody called, they still call today and want to know if Richie's going to play. So, you know, that's one of the things. I mean,
One of those calls coming from. They're coming from Manchester.
No, I don't even think. I think they're from everywhere but Manchester.
Okay.
You know, so. But it's. I mean, that's really special. You know, to know that the fans care that much about you, and I know Coach Pitino and the rest of them, and K-Wood and the rest of them probably got, you know, hearing, is Richie going to play tonight, or, you know, what's Richie doing, or is he going to go to the NBA or whatever, you know. So there was a flood of calls, you know, every night while I was there. So, you know, I'd like to say again, use this to say thanks to those fans that supported me and the rest of us throughout my career.
Well, and thank you for being with us and sharing your thoughts with us.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.